All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City of Columbia City Hall Council Chambers for tonight's council meeting. If you are here for tonight's March 14th council meeting, you're in the right place, and we say welcome. Before we go into that meeting, however, we do have 4 public hearings that we will first go through. Beginning with public hearing number 1, public hearing on ordinance number 4495, an ordinance to amend ordinance number 4400, the same being the zoning ordinance of the City of Columbia, Tennessee, by rezoning tax map 89, parcel 21, located at 200 Oakwood Drive, from neighborhood large lot character district to neighborhood character district. This is Ward 2. Anyone in the audience this evening wish to be heard on public hearing number 1? Seeing none, anyone on council wish to be heard on public hearing number 1? Hearing none, entertain a motion to close public hearing number 1. Motion's been made and properly seconded. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Green? Ms. Hardison? Mr. Marshall?
Aye.
Mrs. Wiles? Vice Mayor McBroom? Mayor Mulder?
Aye. Public hearing number 1 is closed. Public hearing number 2, public hearing on ordinance number 4496, an ordinance to amend ordinance 4400, the zoning ordinance of the City of Columbia, Tennessee, by rezoning tax map 100D, Group E, Parcel 9, located at 807 Athenaeum Street, from neighborhood character district to general urban character district. This is Ward 2. Anyone here this evening wish to be heard at the public hearing component of this matter on public hearing number 2? Seeing no one, anyone on council wish to be heard on public hearing number 2? Hearing none, entertain a motion to close public hearing number 2.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Green?
Aye.
Ms. Hardison? Mr. Marshall?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom?
Aye.
Mayor Mulder?
Aye. Public hearing number 2 is now closed. Public hearing 3, public hearing on ordinance number 4497, an ordinance amending ordinance 4400, the same being the zoning ordinance of the City of Columbia, Tennessee, regarding articles 8.3.6 and 8.5.15, including any Scrivener errors throughout the same. This is public hearing number 3. Anyone in the audience this evening wish to be heard on public hearing number 3? Seeing no one, anyone on council wish to be heard on public hearing number 3? Hearing none, entertain a motion to close public hearing number 3.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Green?
Aye.
Ms. Hardison? Mr. Marshall?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom?
Aye.
Mayor Mulder?
Aye. Public hearing number 3 is closed. Final public hearing 4, public hearing on ordinance 4498 as amended, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 23-24 budget, ordinance number 4464 as amended, providing for revisions to the general sanitation, capital projects, and wastewater funds. Anyone in the audience this evening wish to be heard on public hearing 4? Hearing none, anyone on council wish to be heard? Hearing none, entertain a motion to close public hearing 4. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Green?
Aye.
Ms. Hardison? Mr. Marshall?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye. Public hearing number 4 is now closed. Okay, that concludes public hearings. Thank you for your patience as we go through that. I think it's important to point out that those public hearings are there for a reason, to ensure that the public always has an opportunity to have input. However, you'll notice sometimes we don't have any participation in that, and that is largely because you'll see that these public hearing matters are also contained throughout the various agendas that also require discussion and approval. And so in large part, that's why you see a lot of these public hearings have become a little bit more of a formality, but it's an important formality to recognize nonetheless. With that said, we will now move into the call to order for tonight's March 14th, 2024 council meeting, beginning with the roll call.
Mr. Coleman. Here. Mr. Green. Here. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall.
Here.
Mrs. Wiles. Vice Mayor McBroom. Here. Mayor Mulder.
Here. We'll now move into our invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. I would like to call on Stone Meyer of the Bridge Church, please, for the invocation. And as he's coming forward, I would invite all of you who are able to please stand, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. And regarding the Pledge of Allegiance, I would like to call on Troop 2488, who I believe is in attendance this evening. We're so happy to have them here, and we will recognize them momentarily. So after the invocation is provided, if you'll then please join in with Troop 2488 with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. God, we come before you with gratitude. We thank you for loving us. We thank you for showing us mercy. And we thank you for being with us right now in this very room. You never leave us or forsake us. It's by your grace that we've come this far, and it is by your grace that you will guide us forward. I thank you tonight for the people that lead us, our mayor, our city manager, our city staff, our city council members. I thank you for our first responders and for everyone else who makes this city we call home such a wonderful place to live. And God, I thank you for the people that you've called them to lead. Thank you that you've made each person in this city in the image of God and have formed them with dignity and with worth. God, we pray that you would be glorified in the conversations had and in the decisions made in this meeting tonight. As Paul says in Philippians chapter 2, in humility, value others above yourself, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interest of others. And so, God, we pray for wisdom, for strength, for courage to do what is right and good for all citizens, the kids, the students, the young adults, the families, and the elderly. May your light shine bright in this city. We pray that your kingdom come and your will be done. And so, Lord, I pray in Columbia as it is in heaven. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and you may be seated, and thank you, Stone, for that. And to Troop 2488, I'm not going to let y'all out so easily, so I'm going to invite Troop 2488 to come back to the front. I believe we have Lillian and Clara here this evening that are attending as cadets that are earning their democracy badge tonight, and so we're very proud that they were here to lead us in the pledge. And this is a part of an opportunity for them to not only lead us in the pledge, but to learn a little bit about civic involvement and governance. And so we're so excited to have them here. And I don't know much about a democracy badge, but I think that in order to qualify, it has to include a picture with the city council to prove that they were here. So I'm going to ask city council to meet me in the well for Lillian and Claire and a picture with 2488. All right, so before we take a photo, tell us your names and what grade you're in and where you go to school.
My name is Lillian.
Right. And y'all are earning democracy badge tonight? Right. Tell us a little bit about what. Right. Well, I'd say they have participated. That can check off the list. You also happen to have an attendance tonight, your county mayor as well, so you're getting to see all types of dignitaries. We're glad to have her here. So if it's all right, we'll take a photo so we can make it official. How about that? Let's give them a round of applause. Mayor Beck, come get in the picture real quick. You got the county mayor here too. We got to pull her in if that's all right with y'all. Good, good. All right. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Okay, that now takes us to the approval of tonight's agenda. Item 4.
Move to approve.
Any discussion on the motion to approve the agenda? Hearing none. Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Green.
Aye.
Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall.
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye. The agenda is approved. Next, Section 5, presentations. First, 5.1, Resolution 2406, a resolution ratifying the City of Columbia's application for the General Motors on Main Street grant, accepting the grant award for $50,000, and authorize the mayor to execute documents related to accepting and administering the grant project.
Yes, Kelly Murphy, if you could come forward, please. I know at the study session last week you touched on this grant, but we were hoping to have someone from GM here this evening. I don't know if she's made it or not.
Yes, Mayor, members of council, Allison May was going to join us. She is Senior Manager of Plant Communications for GM, and she sends her regrets. She was not able to make it. So if I could, as we know, no project happens with one single person. So I'd like to invite Lori Fisher up with South Central Development District and Kelly Johnson with Main Street to talk about the grant. So
I knew there was a reason that these familiar faces were in the
course,
crowd. We're glad to see these familiar faces.
of course. So as you know, we have applied for the GM on Main Street grant and were approved for $50,000 to spend. And we have chosen to spend that in downtown for pedestrian safety, traffic calming, beautification is what it will go towards. And we have 3 of the 4 streets that are coming into downtown that intersect with the public square will have the crosswalks basically redone, and those will have curb extensions. Basically, you're designing the curb out into the white striped no parking area. So it extends the view for the pedestrian trying to cross the street. They're able to go further out into that area, and it's traffic calming for the cars that are coming through the square as well. So double duty there, and we will also have an information kiosk with this project. So we're thrilled to work with GM, our community partner, on this, and it is administered through National Main Street Center. And thanks to Lori for writing this for us, definitely. You want to say anything about the grant? Come on up.
I would like to say, as an employee at South Central Development District, we're always excited to work with the City of Columbia and to help you with your community and economic development needs. As a resident here, I'm especially excited when projects get funded in Columbia, and this will be such a worthwhile, highly visible project. We do a lot of sewer projects, as Thad will tell you, and a lot of times people don't see those, but this will be a real visible project, and I think it will make a nice difference to the downtown.
three of you.
I think we were the only community in Tennessee to get it. So Michigan, Kentucky, I think there was only 5 total that were able to receive this grant. So the fact Columbia got it this year, that's exciting for us. It's really going to make a difference. It's going to make the whole square cohesive. And it's really going to reflect what we already have coming up on 6th and North Main Street. So our downtown's about to be totally transformed in a great way. And I'm excited to be able to say we actually got it done. So it's going to be happening this year. So we'll see the results by the end of the year.
On that note, so I assume that construction will take some time. There'll be some disruption, but that's going to take some time before we get to that point too, right? I mean, what is the timeline on that?
We have until the end of August, if I remember correctly, to complete the grant, but fortunately we have the expert work of Public Works. So being able to draw on them to help us complete this project it's a game changer for us.
Very good. All right. Well, Lori, good to see you. Thank you. We hope that the development district knows how much we appreciate you there. So I know you're not the type to send those comments back, but hopefully somebody will hear that, because we certainly do. And Kelly, we also appreciate you and your good work on all things Main Street. And Kelly Murphy, thanks for the explanation. Any questions of Kelly, or Lori? Okay. Thank you, ladies. So we're now back on the item. I guess we do need to entertain a motion to approve this resolution.
So moved.
Moved and properly second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Green? Aye. Ms. Hardison? Mr. Marshall?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom? Mayor Mulder?
Aye. That item is approved. Next item, 5.2, presentation by the United States Department of Defense. I understand we have a very special guest this evening who has an announcement to make regarding a very special award. And I believe it's Mr. John Dias who is here this evening. Mr. Dias, we offer our warmest welcomes to you, to the city of Columbia. We're grateful you're here and for your service, and we look forward to this mystery of a presentation that I don't know how many people know about.
Well, if you're looking to me to be a fount of wisdom on any topic, including this one, you've got to find someone else. But good evening, Mr. Mayor, Councilman. I'm John Dias, representing the Department of Defense, most especially a small agency called Employer Support for the Guard and Reserve, whose mission, oddly enough, is reflected in our name. Unlike a lot of government agencies, we promote employers' support of their workforce who belong to the National Guard and Reserve. This active military strength right now is at historically low levels, looking at the past 50, 60 years or so. About 40% of our total military strength today resides in the National Guard and Reserves. I'm sure you have, I know, at least one employee in the city that thought enough of his treatment by the Columbia Police Department to take a couple of minutes and write a note about his chief. So if I could get Chief Alsop up here. Looking at the law enforcement people in the room, this might be a good time to rob a liquor store or something if you've got a mind to it.
I do not advise that.
No, we got plenty.
We got plenty. Okay, thank you. Anyway, this man led an effort to support one of his officers, a captain in the Army, Matthew Reichert, who this very day probably enjoying not such good weather and not such facilities as we have here in Columbia tonight. He's in the Horn of Africa, and I stay in sort of communication with him because in addition to appreciating his caring enough to write a justification for this really nice award to Chief Alsop for his treatment called the Patriotic Employer Award, and we don't give out a lot of these. So I'm pleased to present this to you. And I've hired at no small expense your parents to be my photographers, so you won't miss a bit here. And so, we got more. They're coming up everywhere. So, you've done things you don't have to do. And I know from 30 years doing sort of the same thing how much you appreciate having your employers got your back and looking after your family while you're gone somewhere. So thank you for that. I'd like to to change just a moment a hat here, if I had one. I also represent the Chief of the Army Reserve, and we've got about 5,000 soldiers in the state of Tennessee. And looking through the recommendation, I realized that Captain Reichert and I served in the same unit. Now, 50 years ago, Captain Dice was a far different fellow than the old guy you see here, but we served in the Army Reserve unit, both of us proudly. And I'm pleased to present to you my coin here, thanking you, one, for your attitude and service and support of our military. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for the opportunity.
Mr. Well, very well deserved. You don't catch the chief speechless often, but you just did. But Mr. Dias, we're so grateful that you're here this evening and have come to Columbia for this very special award. And we would like to, if you don't mind, also document that with a photo with a larger group as well.
Fine with me. And speaking in the public, I always remember Julius Caesar. You know, Caesar was a general. Caesar liked to give long speeches, and they killed him.
Now the Girl Scouts got a lesson on Julius Caesar.
Not so much democracy there. Who's hiding? We've got to get Councilman Brown in here because I learned he's a Navy guy, and my grandson is in the Navy, and he provides the 5th generation of my family that served in law enforcement.
All right, Chief, you want to say anything?
Remember Caesar?
Yep. you know it. Well, it's hard to keep a secret with a bunch of detectives around, but when you walk into council and your parents are sitting there, you kind of straighten up a little bit. And my beautiful wife and daughter are here tonight. This is a Columbia Police Department award. We implemented something, and we owe it as employers and administrators to take care of those that'll sacrifice. And my hope is that everyone's doing what we do because we owe it to them. So thank you very much. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Just found out.
All right, thank you, sir. Safe travels back home, and thank you to the men and women from CPD who were here tonight as well. It's good to see all of y'all, as always. Okay, now we'll go to item 5.3, Mayor Butt. Thank you for your patience on that. I figured you might like seeing both of those presentations, but we're glad to have County Mayor here tonight to talk about the animal shelter and introduce a special guest as well.
First, I just want to thank you, Mayor Mulder, Vice Mayor McBroom, I guess City Manager Tony Massey for having us here tonight, and the council for all you do for our community. It is so important, and we appreciate the time you put in and what you do for this community. Tonight, I'm here to introduce Kim Raffoff. Kim is the new director of the Maury County Animal Services. Kim ran a nonprofit which was heading up the volunteers, Friends of Maury County, for a couple of years, and she is very adept in working with people and administrative duties, and certainly loves the animals, that's for sure. So we are looking at great things from the animal shelter. And the animal shelter serves our 3 cities and all of Maury County. So I thought you would be very interested in seeing what's going on out there, what improvements we would like to make, and just looking forward to what Maury County Animal Shelter will be doing under Kim's directorship. So thank you so much for having us tonight, and Kim will be giving you a presentation about what's going on out there. Thank you.
I'm not sure, like I'm plugged in here, if I need something special to turn as far as for it to come on a screen, or do we have any technical help?
Probably have to load it on the front end. It's okay though, you can,
Okay.
we'll pay attention.
Okay. All right, so basically, the animal shelter, this is our numbers for February, and I just wanted to kind of show everybody to give them an idea of what is happening there. Oops, sorry. Why is it not working? Help. Why is it not doing that? Okay. I have that plugged in. I just expected it to go on the screen. Up to the top. Did it come up? Oh, okay. Okay.
We'll get there, Kim. Thank you.
I know. Sorry.
All right.
I'm not an IT person.
No problem.
All right. Okay, so this was our numbers as of February. I wanted to give everybody a little breakdown because you see a lot of things, we're full all the time. We're not accepting animals. Until you actually see the breakdown, you don't realize it. We have kennels for about 65 dogs. The shelter was built in '04. We have not added kennels since then, and obviously the population growth has exploded. With all the new stuff that's going on, that's just going to make our problem even worse. So this is some of the things that we're looking at doing is that, no, I'm not working again. Why isn't it working? We could just go to each slide too.
Yeah, just press.
Okay. So this was maybe. I know, now it's gone. Basically, this is the call log if it comes back up on the screen so you can see where all the animals' calls are coming from. Currently, last month, Columbia had 19 calls, the county had 31, Mount Pleasant had 4, Otta County were 3, and Spring Hill 2. This changes on a monthly basis. And again, if it comes up on the screen, you can see. It also breaks down after hours calls, aggressive animals, and so forth. And these are available at any time that I can provide numbers. Some of the things that we're going to need to do, oh, I was hoping it was going to come back up on the screen. Oh, yikes. Okay. Some of the things that we're going to do is we are going to add some outdoor kennel space, which is going to serve as like a quarantine area for any sick animals we get. One of the biggest problems we have is if we get one animal sick, there's no place to quarantine the animals, and then everybody gets sick. Another problem that we have is that if we have court case animals that have to stay in the shelter, we don't have a place to put them. By adding this, we can rotate out to either quarantine sick animals, mothers that are having puppies. If it's court case dogs and so forth, it's just going to give us a place to be able to move some of these animals. Another thing we're going to do is expand our surgery center, and we need new equipment for in that center. We need instruments that have been in use since the beginning, a gurney, because right now we physically lift these animals from table to table to table, which doesn't sound bad, but when you have 30 on a surgery list and they're all 80 pounds apiece, it's very exhausting. The other thing that we're looking to do is expand the side yard towards adoption with outdoor kennels, the same that we have on the stray side. What that's going to do is it's going to help us when we get the new kennel system installed for a place to put the animals in adoption as we demo. Obviously, staff is also an issue that we're going to need. We would really like to add an intake coordinator and foster coordinator on a full-time basis. Right now, I have many employees who wear multiple hats. They'll clean kennels, and they have to be done by 12 o'clock to get up, schedule intakes that come in. So by them just having one job, they can give the animals more care of what they need And the person in intake can then also schedule, and we can foster out more animals and take more in. It's hard to keep track of this right now when it's on a part-time basis. And, we could use some extra kennel cleaners, part-time basis, to help full-time staff in relieving some of the duties. It's a stressful, daunting task and physical to clean kennels. It doesn't sound like it would be, but if you're there on a daily basis, there's a lot of scrubbing, moving dogs, and so forth. It really is. Does anybody have any questions?
Does anybody have any questions for Kim? Mr. Jablonski, do you know off the top of your head what the City of Columbia's investment has been over the years with the Animal Services Department? Or Mr. Massey, maybe you might know that as well. I know that there has been a long-standing.
Yes, sir. We have been annually participating $200,000 a year towards the support of the Byrd County Animal Shelter, and we've been doing that for quite some time.
And I just asked that question just because I know lately we've been able to have some meetings, sort of almost a reconstituted Animal Services Board, I guess is what it's called or referred to as. It has not had as many meetings with as much regularity over the last several years, but Mayor Butt has sort of brought that back, I think rightfully so. It's just that we're now having conversations. And so I just say all that to say that was sort of what brought Kim and Mayor Butt here tonight, was just to give us a little bit of an overview of what's going on at the animal shelter, and considering that we are such a significant investor in that overall operation, and recognizing that those needs are evolving as time goes on, and growth and progress, et cetera. So that was why she came tonight and provided that presentation. I believe, based upon the meeting that we've had, there may be some requests forthcoming. We talked to Mr. Lukonen and the mayor about that, and we believe that that's going to be forthcoming. But we felt as though it would be good to have some type of report, maybe on a regular basis, just so that we know exactly, because I don't believe in my time that I've been here that we've really had a whole lot of communication or knowledge about some of those numbers that you're sharing. And so I thought that was really instructive. And by the way, welcome aboard, because I know that you're new to the game as well.
Yes, I am. Thank you also for your in everything. I really appreciate it. I'm happy to share numbers or presentation with anybody. I'll leave my card, and I look forward to open communication.
And you might mention, what is your budget right now?
Oh,
The
yes.
yearly budget right now is what?
So the yearly budget last year was $1.1 million for the full year. 50% of it is medical, the other half is staff. So we have some maintenance things that we have to do out there. I mean, we're on tight purse strings.
So if anybody wants to volunteer, I know they would love to have you out there. So that would be great as well. So thank you for letting us come tonight. We appreciate it very much. Have a good
Mayor,
evening.
and thank you, Kim, both for being here. And this is when I always tell our visitors that if you'd like to leave, we won't hold it against you. And this is your opportunity to depart if you'd like. You're also welcome to stay. We won't hold that against you either. But thank you again, Kim, and welcome aboard. Okay, we will now move into organizational business. Section 6, item 6.1, approve the minutes of the February 8th, 2024 regular city council meeting. Been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Green. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 6.2, approve the retirement benefits of Molly Benderman, Court and Internal Records Administrator, City Recorder's Office. Been moved and properly seconded. I understand that today may have been her last day in the building, and Mr. Jablonski, if you see her or talk to her, let her know that we all are grateful for her many years of service to the city.
Yes, sir.
Take the vote, please.
Mr. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Green. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 6.3, reappointment of City Judge Jake Hubble. I will move to approve. Been properly seconded. Any discussion on that matter? Hearing none. Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman. Mr. Green. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item on the agenda is the administration of oath of office for the position of City Judge. So now's when I get to embarrass Judge Hubble and ask him to come to the front so I can administer the oath to him. And as he's walking forward, let me just say that, Jake, we appreciate your service stepping into this role, and we continue to hear nothing but good coming from both our internal departments, but also from others that appear in front of you when you sit in this chair in your capacity as judge. So we appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate the opportunity to serve up to this point, and I appreciate the opportunity to continue serving as your city judge, and appreciate everybody reappointing me. I'm looking forward to continuing to serve in this role.
Well, make it official if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jake Hubble,
Jake Hubble,
being duly reappointed
on
March 14th, 2024,
on March 14th, 2024,
by the City Council of the City of Columbia,
by the City Council of the City of Columbia,
to the office of City Judge for the City of Columbia,
to the office of City Judge for the City of Columbia,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the State of Tennessee,
and of the State of Tennessee,
that I will comply with and observe
that I will comply with and observe
the provisions of the Charter of the City of Columbia
the provisions of the Charter of the City of Columbia
and the ordinances of the City of Columbia,
and the ordinances of the City of Columbia,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of my office
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of my office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Judge.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right. Now it's time you're off, so welcome to lead. We won't hold it again.
Don't draw that to everybody's attention.
Thank you, Judge. All right, we'll now move on to the consent agenda. These are items that are deemed non-controversial, requiring no additional discussion or debate. I'll read on them collectively, and we will then vote on them collectively, beginning with 7.1, approved disbursements for the month of January 2024 in the amount of $7,687,483.84. Item 7.2, approve and authorize the disposal of surplus equipment. Item 7.3, approved professional services proposal with Henderson, Hutcherson, and McCullough for annual accounting services in the amount of $51,500. Item 7.4, approve and authorize the mayor to execute the memorandum of understanding between the City of Columbia and the City of Mount Pleasant for CAD server access. 7.5, approve and authorize the mayor to sign a contract between the City of Columbia and Style Blueprint for a digital advertising spring campaign in the amount of $6,450. 7.6, approve and authorize the mayor to sign a contract between the City of Columbia and Kevin Hale to commission a public art sculpture for the Columbia Arts District South Garden Streetscape in the amount of $25,000. 7.7, approve and authorize the mayor to sign a contract between the City of Columbia and Whitney Harrington to commission a public art sculpture for the Columbia Arts District South Garden Streetscape in the amount of $15,000. Item 7.8, approve and authorize the mayor to sign a contract between the City of Columbia and Corey Ricardo to commission 2 public art sculptures for the Columbia Arts District South Garden Streetscape in the amount of $40,000. 7.9, approve and authorize the mayor to sign a contract between the City of Columbia and Joseph Hazelwood to commission a public art sculpture for the Columbia Arts District South Garden Streetscape in the amount of $15,000. 7.10, approve and authorize the mayor to execute the contract with Recreational Concepts for the installation of a splash pad at Fairview Park in the amount of $683,405.69. 7.11, approve and authorize the mayor to sign the non-exclusive use and occupancy permit between the City of Columbia and the Maury County School Board of Education. 7.12, approve and authorize the mayor to execute a contract with Commonwealth Heritage LLC for consulting services to conduct a historic inventory for the City of Columbia in the amount of $5,317.30. 7.13, approve and authorize the mayor to execute a 3-year license agreement with Campbell and Dew for use of a radio tower in the amount of $3,000 per year. 7.14, approve change orders number 1 and change order number 2 with Brindley Construction LLC for the City of Columbia Fire Station project, which decreases the contract amount by a combined total of $27,887. 7.15, approve the payment to Cumberland Machine Company in the amount of $54,814.05 for the pump rebuild located at the Green Lick Pump Station. 7.16, approve and authorize the mayor to sign an agreement with Water Management Services LLC not to exceed $19,000 for modifications to the Carters Creek force main and relocation of an air relief valve. 7.17, approve the purchase of a 2024 F600 bucket truck in the amount of $209,271 using Sourcewell contract. And 718, receive and file quarterly investment report for the period ending September 30, 2023, pursuant to the city's investment and internal controls policies, Finance Department. That's your consent agenda, items 7.1 through 7.18. Entertain a motion to approve. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman. Aye. Mr. Green. Aye. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Aye. Vice Mayor McBroom. Aye. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, the consent agenda is approved. There being no items under Section 8, we'll move now to Section 9 resolutions, beginning 9.1, Resolution 2407, a resolution accepting a donation of a $50 gift card to be utilized by Columbia Fire and Rescue. Moved to properly second. Any discussion on that item? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman. Aye. Mr. Green. Aye. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Aye. Vice Mayor McBroom. Aye. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 9.2, Resolution 2408, a resolution requesting the Murray County Election Commission to conduct a city election for the offices of 5 council members on November 5, 2024.
Move to approve.
Been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman. Aye. Mr. Green. Aye. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Aye. Vice Mayor McBroom. Aye. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 9.3, Resolution 2409, tax corrections. Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman. Aye. Mr. Green. Aye. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Aye. Vice Mayor McBroom. Aye. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, 9.3 is approved. Next item, 9.4, Resolution 2410, ad valorem tax corrections.
Move to approve.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman. Aye. Mr. Green. Aye. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Aye. Vice Mayor McBroom. Aye. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 9.5, Resolution 2411, a resolution to accept the ownership and maintenance of sewer improvements serving Silver Springs Phases 1 and 2.
Move to approve.
Been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman. Aye. Mr. Green. Aye. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Aye. Vice Mayor McBroom. Aye. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 9.6, Resolution 2412, a resolution to accept the ownership and maintenance of sewer improvements serving Rutherford Subdivision Phase 1. Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on item 9.6? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman. Aye. Mr. Green. Aye. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Aye. Vice Mayor McBroom. Aye. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 9.7, Resolution 2413, a resolution to accept sponsorship donations for the 24 Mid-State Classic softball games to be held at Ridley Park Sports Complex on April 2nd, 2024, in the amount of $19,000. Been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on item 9.7? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman. Aye. Mr. Green. Aye. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Aye. Vice Mayor McBroom. Aye. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 9.8, Resolution 2415, a resolution opposing property tax cap restrictions on local government legislative bodies.
Move to approve.
Been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on item 9.8? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman. Aye. Mr. Green. Aye. Ms. Hardison. Aye. Mr. Marshall. Aye. Vice Mayor McBroom. Aye. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 9.9, Resolution 2416, a resolution to ratify the City of Columbia's application for the 2023 Assistance to Firefighters Grant, accept the award, and authorize the mayor to execute documents related to accepting and administering the grant project. 9.9. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman. Aye. Mr. Green. Aye. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Aye. Vice Mayor McBroom. Aye. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Now we're on Section 10 ordinances, beginning with item 10.1, second consideration of Ordinance 4493, amending Title 18, Chapter 1, Section 181032 of the Columbia Municipal Code by deleting such section in its entirety and substituting a new section, 181032, with reference to sewer service charge and established April 11, 2024 as a date of public hearing.
Move to approve.
Actually, Mr.
Councilman,
Massey.
yes, apologize, Councilman, but this was an item that we, in error, did not get the public hearing scheduled in time, advertised in time, so we're asking you to defer on this till next month, second reading.
I withdraw my motion.
Do you want to place a new motion?
I will place a new motion to withdraw or defer? Defer this motion to next month.
It's been seconded by Councilmember Green. All right. Thank you, Mr. Massey, for the explanation. It's been moved and seconded to defer this to the next meeting so that we can cure the notice issue. Any further discussion on item 10.1? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Green. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 10.2, that deferral is approved. I apologize. 10.2, second consideration of ordinance 4495, an ordinance to amend ordinance 4400, the same being the zoning ordinance of the City of Columbia by rezoning tax map 89 parcel 21 located at 200 Oakwood Drive from neighborhood large lot character district to neighborhood character district. This is Ward 2. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on that item? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Green. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 10.3, second consideration of ordinance number 4496, an ordinance to amend ordinance 4400, the same being the zoning ordinance of the City of Columbia by rezoning tax map 100D Group E Parcel 9 located at 807 Athenaeum Street from neighborhood character district to general urban character district. This is Ward 2. It's been moved and properly seconded. 10.3, any discussion on item 10.3? Did I have someone? I did not have someone signed up to speak. In fact, I think the only individual signed up to speak was Gerald
Gerald
Vick.
Vick did.
On this item, or have already passed you, or on a different item?
On this item, just
Okay.
if you have any questions.
You're here if necessary or called upon. Does anyone have any questions now that I've called you out for Mr. Gerald Vick? Appears to be none. It's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski will take the vote on item 10.3.
Mr. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Green. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 10.4, second consideration of ordinance 4497, an ordinance amending the ordinance 4400, same being the zoning ordinance of the City of Columbia, Tennessee regarding Articles 8.3.6 and 8.5.15, including any scrivener errors throughout the same.
Move to approve.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Item 10.4, any discussion on that item? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Green. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 10.5, second consideration of ordinance 4498 is amended to amend the fiscal year 23-24 budget ordinance 4464, providing for the revisions to the general sanitation capital projects and wastewater funds. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on item 10.5? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Green. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, item 10.5 is approved. Next item, 10.6, first consideration of ordinance 4486 to amend ordinance 4400, the zoning ordinance of the City of Columbia, by rezoning tax map 89E, Group F, parcels 1.01 and 1.02, located off Morningside Lane from neighborhood large lot character district to neighborhood character district, CD3, and establish April 11th, 2024 as the date of public hearing. This is Ward 3.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on item 10.6? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Green. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Final item under this section, 10.7, first consideration of ordinance 4492, amending ordinance 4400, the same being the zoning ordinance of the City of Columbia regarding references to Connect Columbia, the comprehensive plan in Articles 3 and 4, definitions in Article 9, rezoning processes and criteria in Article 8, and correcting scrivener's errors throughout the ordinance, and establish April 11th, 2024 as the date of public hearing.
Move to approve.
Been moved and properly seconded to that item 10.7. Any discussion on that? Hearing none. Mr. Jablonski.
Mr. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Green. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Now into other business. Anybody have any announcements or anything that they wish to share for the good of the body? Mr. Massey?
Mayor, we have had the signage erected at Station 3 for Barbara McIntyre, so we will get in contact with her family to try to schedule an event sometime in a few weeks out there so we can recognize the renaming that you did for the fire station. So also, too, I think we've got a ball game coming up. Kelly, did you by chance bring anything this evening to hand out? Okay, Mac, if you want to come forward and talk about the game for a second. We've kind of given, how about that for putting you on the spot?
Don't spread it over me real quick there.
You can give an update
No,
on ticket
actually,
sales.
it's a good thing because with your approval of our sponsorship, those tickets will go out for those sponsors. We're going to have roughly 300 tickets left. So it's a good time to make it public. If you want your tickets, you better get them. So it's going to be a sellout again this year. And we got it, just got the fields laser graded, and it's looking good out there. If you've seen any of our Facebook advertisement, thank you for all you do.
And we have a little gift for the council members tonight that we're going to hand out to the kids the night of the game.
I'm sure there'll be a fight for those.
Let's make sure Lillian and Clara also get one of those foam fingers
yeah,
in the
we'll-
back here.
There's a couple extra over
All
here.
right, good deal.
Is Miss Murphy going to take a picture of council with these? Because that would make great social media content.
Holding them up. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, good. It's like,
Hey, don't be shy.
Tony, you're the only one that doesn't have one. What do we do?
I've got one in my
Wait, I'm
office,
left
so it's okay.
Up there. There you go. Act like you mean it.
Hold your hand up, Tony. There you go.
Got it.
All right. Well, that is exciting. We're always looking forward to that. One of the great nights in Columbia in the annual calendar. Thank you for your continued work on that, Mac and Kelly and everybody that's involved. I also want to point out on March 23rd, so a week from this Saturday, we are we've put together. There will be sort of a citywide cleanup where we're asking people to, whether it's their church or any organization, to pick a spot on that day that they think that there's a lot of litter around. Maybe it's their neighborhood, maybe it's a park, maybe it's anywhere that they wish, and pick up some trash, spend a little time doing it, upload a photo to the city Facebook page, and they'll be entered into a competition for some really cool prizes that I don't know what those prizes will be. It might include a foam finger. But March 23rd, I'm planning on being somewhere to do something. And so if anybody on council wants to join, I'll let you know where I'm going to be. And we'll pick up some trash on March 23rd for a citywide litter pickup day. March 23rd. Good timing because it'll be right before Mule Day, and hopefully we can make sure our city is shining bright. Speaking of Mule Day, I know we will meet again as a body prior to Mule Day, but I know that planning is already underway, and there have been several meetings, and we're aware of some of them already, and we're excited for that and appreciate all the work that goes in across all the departments to make sure Mule Day is a success. So with that, we will entertain, anybody else wish to be heard on any matter? If not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Moved and properly seconded. Mr. Jablonski, take the vote, please.
Mr. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Green. Ms. Hardison. Mr. Marshall. Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye.